Hello, crafty friends. Happy Friday. I don't get to say that very often because I don't do a lot of Friday lives, but I am super excited to be hopping on today. And if you're a little bit confused about why you're seeing me on a Friday instead of a Tuesday, well, today we are launching our Combo Club supersize release. If you are one of our subscribers to the Combo Club, then you are probably expecting this. And if not, then I have some exciting news for you and a little announcement for everyone about when we're going to open up that Combo Club subscription again. So if you signed up originally, you could choose a 3-month or a 6-month subscription. And so the end of our 3-month subscriptions are coming at the end of, is it June, right? April, yes. May, and June. So June would be your last one if you signed up for the 3-month Combo Club membership. And if you would like to sign up again for the following 3 months, that would be July, August, and September, then we will be opening that up on May 30th. Do I have that right, Whitney?
Yes!
I forgot to check that date before I came on, but I hope I'm pretty sure that's correct. So May 30th, we will be opening that up. So if you either signed up for 3 months and you want to join again for the second half of our Combo Club, then you would need to re-sign up. Or if you did not get signed up originally and you want to join for the second half of our Combo Club, then you would need to sign up as well. If you already signed up and purchased that 6-month membership at the beginning, which was our best deal, so you got in on the lowest price that you could, then you are already signed up for July, August, and September, and there's no need to do anything. Now, if you want to hear or get a notice when we are opening up that Combo Club membership purchase again, then you can go on our website. Whitney, are you on the homepage? Yes, is it under Customer Service Combo Club? Or is it under Connect With Us Combo Club?
Connect With Us Combo Club.
Okay, so under the Connect With Us tab at the top, then you will click on Combo Club and you can enter your email address, and that will we will be sending an email letting you know that time period has opened up for you to go ahead and purchase a membership for the second half of our Combo Club. Now, if you're thoroughly confused about what Combo Club is, then I am here to tell you all the details today. It is our stamp and stencil combo. So last year we kind of launched a membership program with Quad of the Month, and this year we have decided to do something a little different, and we're doing a stamp and stencil combo. So each month we come out with something different. You get exclusive access to that product. The products that are in our Combo Club will never be released to the public. So that's kind of fun. You get exclusive products from TE, and those are shipped on the 15th of each month. And then we have something exciting that we are calling Supersize Your Combo. And those are products that coordinate with or kind of combine with your Combo Club membership if you like to add extra. And that's why we're here today to talk about those Combo Club supersize products that are available for purchase starting right now. They are only accessible by the people who are in the Combo Club. So if you are looking for that category, then you log into the website. You must be logged in, and it's over under the Shop tab, and then you will see Combo Club. So just click there and you will find all of our supersize products for this month. You'll even see last month's products in case you didn't purchase any of those. You can grab those, and those supersize products will continue to remain available for purchase throughout the duration of your subscription. Now, those supersize items may end up in our catalog at a later date, but the actual combo, the stamp and stencil combo, will not be released. Hopefully all of that makes sense to you guys. Let me say hi to a few people, and if you have quick questions about the membership, Whitney is standing by. Susan's here also. They're gonna kind of pop in and out of the conversation today as we craft together, but they are here to answer your questions as well.
I'm so excited about today.
Oh, today is very exciting.
Get ready, people.
Yes, I think we had a lot of fun with this one.
Yes.
Kind of dreaming this up and making it come to life. It's been really fun to to see all the pieces and how they can be used. That is, as you guys know, if you've followed Tailored Expressions for long, one of my favorite parts of developing products is thinking about the versatility and how can we get the most out of this one product, either the way that it performs or the number of things that it can do or the number of occasions that it can be used for. So I think we kind of got the best of all the worlds in this one. I'm excited to share it with you guys. Hello. It is innovative. It's different than anything we've ever done before. So you're going to have to kind of put your thinking caps on, maybe get your note paper out before you actually get this product in your hands so you kind of understand the design process before you get it, and then you're ready to use it as soon as you grab that. Hello, Nina. Hello, Shelly. Jen's here. Janice, Deneen, Dale in Daytona Beach. Hi, Sue out in Virginia. Good to see all of you guys today. I did also forget to mention that this is live on both Facebook and YouTube for everyone to see. So each of our Combo Club membership months will, I guess we do a live with each one of them. So the content is available for anyone to watch, whether you're a member or not, but obviously the exclusivity is in the actual product that you receive. So Shelly's here today, and Dawn, good morning. Sandra. Sandra's losing sleep from being too excited. Well, I know we have these dates published ahead of time for when we're going to launch our Combo Club Supersize, and so you've probably been looking forward to today, just like we have. So why don't we get started? Sound good?
I'm so
okay,
ready.
It's time to reveal our Combo Club membership product for May. We really do need a drum.
Here, I'm good at it.
Here it is. We have Time to Bloom Stamp and Stencil Combo. So like I mentioned, these flowers are just beautiful. I love them. And like I mentioned, there's lots of unique features about this particular stamp and stencil that you probably haven't seen from Tailored Expressions before. So I'm excited to share them, along with beautiful inspiration from our designers. And of course, we'll be getting crafty here together today as well. And I'm gonna just keep you guys on your toes and use purple today. Be a little unexpected, and grabbed my purple inks for this beautiful card that we're going to be crafting together today, or some version of this. I have a few things I'm going to change when we get to crafting. Okay, so let's take a look at that Combo Club, how it arrives to you in this storage pouch. You can open that up, and this is perfect for storing your Combo Club products. The stencils and the packaging and your stamp all fit in here. I did mention last month, but I'll mention it again. When I store these in my craft room, I actually cut off the excess from this pouch, and then it is just open at the top, so it's easier to grab and get out whenever I want to use it. Depending on how you store your things, that may or may not be something you want to do, but I always like to mention it. You can remove the little sticker at the top if you'd like, and if you want to keep it intact and not cut it down, then you would just have this excess piece here at the top. These are our Simple Storage extra large sleeves. So if you want extra of these sleeves to store any of your other Tailored Expressions combo products, then you can grab those in the web store as well. So let's open this up and take a look at what you get. We have our beautiful header card here that stores your stamp. And as I flip this over, you're going to see the large florals featured on the back, and as I kind of bend this, hopefully you can see how we have cut this stamp apart really uniquely. So actually you're getting one large bouquet stamp, but you're also getting 3 stamps that peel apart and can be used individually. Now, in order to center this pretty bouquet on your project, we've included some alignment guides here at the top corners, and I'm going to show you how to work with those. If you do want to just use this as one piece and not separate, or if you want to make sure that those flowers are perfectly centered in your on your paper. So those are some of the unique features, and we'll be talking through those as we use this today. Then, in addition to that, you get your stencils. So there is a 4-layer stencil included with this in order to blend 2 different colors on the leaves. You have the flower centers included on this leafy layer as well. And then you have 2 different colors for your flower petals, which allows you to get some really pretty dimension in your blooms by using similar colors that are complementary to each other. So if you wanted a light and a dark of the same shade, we're going to talk lots about blending today. So yeah, get some ideas on how you can get dimension. So we've got a few questions. What is the full stamp size? They look huge. Well, let me show you some of these samples so you can see that this is a focal bouquet or arrangement, if you will. So that is the size of the flower shown on an A2 card, and I've cut that down with a postage stamp stacklet. So you can use the entire card base size, or they're designed to fit perfectly on a layer that's cut down. The actual size of the background is, or the rubber part of the stamp is a little bit larger than your A2 size, but I don't think that detail really matters for usage of the blooms. But then each of these, if you wanted to use these individually, let me show you some of the samples that Susan created where she just used the flowers by themselves. So you can do that either by die cutting them like she did, or you can piece them back into the stamp or just set them up on a piece of your sugar cube cardstock and then die cut layers around it. So we really wanted this to have versatility for you to use by itself, but then I'm going to introduce you to some of those supersize products that are going to add versatility and options for you if you choose to purchase them. If you don't want to add anything extra, you're still getting a beautiful, useful, wonderfully versatile stamp. So these, you can see Susan used the stamp in the background to stamp kind of a tone on tone, almost stamping her own pattern paper with each of these different colors, and then stenciled the color onto each of the blooms and just used that one bloom as the focal image. Or if you want to, you can, again, I've got this sample here. We have this one with more of the pinky flowers, and this one with kind of an orange tone of flower, and these use just the stamp by itself without the dies. So hopefully that makes some sense, and let's keep looking at a few other samples, and we'll talk through some of our supersize items as we do that. So one of the obvious additions to this, if you want to add versatility, would be to add the coordinating die. So this coordinating die is called Time to Bloom, and it is one die that cuts out all 3 of those stems at the same time. So as long as you're leaving your arrangement inside of the outer kind of puzzle piece, we'll call it, then you know that those are lined up perfectly to work with the stencil and to work with the die. Of course, if you're only stamping one of them and using one at a time, you can die cut just the middle one. You just have those extra 2 also attached to it. So that is the Time to Bloom die. Then sentiments. Sentiments are always a big thing. I think these would be really pretty with sentiments like a mini strips or simple strips. You can see these where Susan just really simply added one of those strips onto the flower, and that's a great way to accent these. But another option that we have come out with in our supersize combo options, we have Itty Bitty Tags 3, which are some different shapes. We also have Itty Bitty Tags 1 and 2 on our website, so you can take a look at those and see.
I love these so much.
I love Itty Bitty Tags, but these are really fun, kind of themed toward flowers. So we've got like a couple that are leaf shaped. If you wanted to tie it around the stem, it would blend in and look like a leaf. We have one that's sort of a diamond, almost a terrarium shape. I love these 2 long skinny ones, and then some more this diamond what is that, a hexagon? Kind of a long hexagon over a square hexagon is really pretty as well. So then these sentiments, the itty bitty sentiments every day, would fit on these itty bitty tags. So these would be interchangeable with the other itty bitty tag die sets, and the itty bitty tags dies are interchangeable with any of our itty bitty sentiments sets that are currently on the website. So if you're looking for additional options for holidays, you can find all of those on the website as well that would fit on these same tags. So let's take a look at how some of the designers have used the supersize combo items. And I'll pull this in here. Jen Schultz created this beautiful shaped card. I love how she used our rounded rectangle dies to create the shaped card. And then that bouquet is featured in the center, and she used the burlap twine to tie on the little thanks tag there. I think that turned out so pretty.
So gorgeous.
Then Jill Hawkins created this one where she used the Time to Bloom dies to cut out the different blooms and then feature them inside this focal arch. And then she just stamped the sentiment right down there. The nice thing about these tiny sentiments is they fit in lots of little spots. So when you have a focal that is larger and you want it to kind of take center stage, adding just a small sentiment really makes those blooms continue to be front and center of your attention. Lori asked if the tag sentiments and the dies are new. Yep, those are new. They're only available to our membership, Combo Club membership subscribers. So you have to be logged into the website to find them in the Combo Club category. Now let's take a look at how both Jill and Jen combined the blooms that are die cut, and then you've got lots of that burlap twine along with the little sentiments on the tags. I love how Jill was able to fold up a piece of, it's like a thinner paper, almost like what you would get in your packing.
Do you think yeah.
It doesn't quite seem like what comes in Tailored Expressions boxes, but you could repurpose that, I think, really easily and make your own little kind of floral cone, especially with Mother's Day this weekend. Wouldn't that be pretty? I know nobody else is going to get this in time to make a Mother's Day card, but I think that's such a fun idea to just mimic the look of a bouquet of flowers. And then over here, Jen also used the dies to cut out the blooms and arrange them along with the little tag and some burlap twine to tie that down. I love how she used that weathered background. Is it called wood plank or? I think it's wood plank stamped gray. It's wood plank. I think she used oyster ink on sea salt cardstock, so it has that weathered white wood look as opposed to like the brown weathered wood look. So really pretty. The other thing that you may be noticing on here that I haven't introduced yet is our last supersize product, and that is the greenery that you see in both of these different arrangements. So I'm going to pull that in and show you, and this kind of is the same style artwork as what you see in the florals of your Combo Club membership product. It's called Breezy Boughs, and it features these two beautiful stems. One of them kind of looks more like eucalyptus and one more like a traditional leafy sprig. And then it comes also with a 2-layer stencil. So this is a stamp and stencil combo, and you can see how those different greens are achieved through the 2 different stencil layers. And then of course there is a coordinating die if you want to add that on. It is called Breezy Boughs. So really pretty, even if you don't want to use it in combination with the blooms. Susan decided to use it on this beautiful card just by itself. I love how those stretch from top to bottom really nicely. You used poblano pepper, which I know is a favorite of yours.
Of course.
That new zigs and zags background, tone on tone with the vellum over it to kind of tamper that busyness. With new green tea inking on that bloom, or that sprig I see. So pretty. Love that. Really simple, and I love that you are treasured sentiment too. So, Okay, then let's bring everything back just so you have it all here. So this is the Time to Bloom Stamp and Stencil combo. This is shipped to you on the 15th of May, which I believe is, what day is that? Wednesday?
Yep.
Okay, so these will begin shipping on Wednesday next week. We have a lot of them to ship, so if you don't get your ship notice on Wednesday, just know that we're working hard to get these all out as fast as we can. So that is your Combo Club membership product. I didn't get to talk about this special piece that comes in your packaging. So this does give you the color inspiration used on these two panels, and you have that down here at the bottom, so if you want to recreate those, you can. Then turn it over, and this month it is double-sided, and it gives you a little bit more detail on how you can pop these out, use them together or separately, and gives you a little bit more of a write-up on how to do that. We're going to talk about all that when we get to crafting together here, but you have that for reference when you get your product. And then we have our Combo Club Super Size products. So we have the dies that coordinate with the Time to Bloom. We have our Breezy Boughs Stamp and Stencil and coordinating die to get some greenery into the mix. And then we also have our sentiment set, which is Itty Bitty Sentiments Every Day, and the Itty Bitty Tags dies. So those are your products for May.
Woo!
Yay!
I'm so excited to craft.
Me too. Who's excited to craft? Are we ready?
I see it all come together. Hear all the tips and tricks.
Well, it is I think it's very simple to use. I think you can make it as kind of simple as you want, or you can step it up and get more intricate with how you use the products. So I have my version here. As I mentioned, you can see I like to cut down my storage piece, and that's what that looks like when I store these all together. Then I can just easily grab that out of my storage container and pull those out, and everything's stored together and ready to go. So we're going to start with that kind of unique stamp here, and let's see. I'm going to grab my Misty. Now, when you first peel this off of your header card, you're going to find that these are slightly connected still. The blade does not go completely all the way through. So the first time you get this, you'll want to peel off that outer backing first. Just kind of gently pull it off of the header card. You don't want to stretch it or, pull on it too hard. Okay, so you're gonna have this first, and this is kind of think of this as the frame to your puzzle. Who else does puzzles? And you always put the frame together first so that you have that kind of guide for putting together the middle pieces. So that is the frame to your puzzle. And then next we have the 3 stamps that fit within that frame. And I am going to peel those off one by one. Again, the first time you take this off, they will be slightly stuck together. If you can see that, there's like a little hair of rubber hanging on there, and you can just peel it. If you have a scissors and you want to cut it, you can, but just kind of stretching it until it breaks is what I would suggest. And that's only going to be kind of on the outer edges. It's all completely cut in the center. So we have that one. Now let's pull this guy off and just kind of stretch that rubber apart until it breaks. And the same on this end. So that's obviously something you only need to do the first time you use your stamp, but good to just do it carefully and with purpose and not just yanking it off.
Yeah. You just gotta, get it apart the first time.
Yes, and you'll notice these do have a little bit of a strange cut to them. And that is because we want them to all fit back together like a puzzle. So you're going to have some that have a little bit of a weird look on the way that they're trimmed, but that is intentional so that they fit perfectly back inside of your outer frame. So now, because I'm going to be using these as one bouquet, kind of your first decision is what am I looking to make today? If you have the dies and you just want to stamp the the flowers or one of the flowers, then you can obviously just pick this up and stamp that one flower. I would suggest though, since the die is all combined as one, that you do all three at a time, and then you can kind of use your stencils the way they're intended to use and not have to mask off certain areas. And then you end up with 3 flowers instead of just one. Your future self will thank you for that, yes. Even if you don't use it right away. Right. So this is that outer frame. Now when we're placing this down onto the Misty lid, you just want to make sure that you're not stretching the frame as you're placing it down. Just kind of lightly place it onto the lid of the Misty and let it fall down into place. So I'm not stretching it. I'm making sure that those pieces that we have to put back in are going to fit just perfectly. Now before I put those pieces in, what I'm going to do, it doesn't really matter what order you do this in, but just to show you guys for now, I'm going to stamp these little registration marks. We'll call them registration marks. This is going to make sure that when you stamp your full bouquet, it's going to be perfectly centered on your A2 paper. So you will need a piece of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 cardstock in order to fit inside of those registration marks. Just like this, you can see them, you can arrange them perfectly so that your paper is centered inside there, which means that your bouquet, when you stamp it, is going to be perfectly centered on your cardstock. Then you can go ahead and die cut this if you want to cut it from a frame or layer it onto a card base. You can do that easily. Or if you just want to use this piece and adhere it onto a card base, then you're all centered up and ready to go. Okay, so I'm not going to put that down quite yet. We'll go ahead and put our pieces back together. So I'm going to start on the outer edge of my puzzle, and we're going to put this one back in. Just kind of, you can see it meets up just perfectly along the edge there. Just kind of tucking that in, and if I bring this up, you can see perfect there. Now we'll go ahead and place this one in.
They like the registration marks.
Good. You know, we really do try to think of everything. All right. And I'm going to get this little guy down in the corner here. Again, just tucking them right up against each other. You want to, if you need to, kind of push them in towards each other to make sure that this last piece is going to fit just perfectly. And we'll just kind of push that down in there. And then our entire piece is right back where we started. Just like that, super easy. Now we can go ahead and put our paper down inside those registration marks. And this is kind of, this next thing I'm going to do is a little bit of a personal preference. It is my personal preference to remove the outer edge. Now that we've stamped our registration marks and we don't need that piece anymore, really the only thing this outer edge serves to do right now is mess us up, because we could get that, we could get those extra inking that happens when you have kind of large open space of rubber. And then if you're pushing hard, you can get that transfer of ink onto your paper, which we don't want. So because I know my bouquet is all perfectly aligned and my alignment squares or registration marks are already stamped, I can just remove this outer piece, remove my puzzle frame, and it can go right back onto the header card. It has served its purpose to make sure that we are completely aligned. Now, I'm going to do something a little different, and this was Susan's genius. So I have to give her credit for this. It did not
invent it.
Well, you just thought of it, which I did not think of doing this. But let me show you a few of the projects. So these 2 cards here I made, the 2 on the right, and this one here on the left is one that Susan did. And if you look closely, hopefully, let me pull these up into the screen. You can see on this one, I stamped my image with black ink, which is beautiful. And if you love stamping in black, you do that. But what I thought was really unique about what Susan did, she wanted to try a no-line coloring option so that it looks more realistic and natural without the lines that are surrounding it. You can still kind of see the lines just faintly enough, but I loved the way that that made those flowers look just that much more real. So we are going to stamp in sea salt ink in order to get that realistic, kind of feathery, almost watercolored look for the image. And this is a really light gray ink. It is hybrid, so you can color over the top of it with your alcohol markers. If you like to color, that's another option for this particular design. You don't have to use the coordinating stencils.
I liked how soft it looked. It just made it look soft.
Yes, soft. That is a good word for it. Okay, so I have some middle part here that I can't see quite as well, so I'm just going to close it again and press down in the middle. And if I bring this up again into the screen, can you see those faint lines? I think that's enough of a guide for me to be able to line up the stencils. And if you want it a little bit darker, everybody is different in their eyesight abilities at different stages of life. So you can also stamp this again to make it just a little bit darker, but still have that soft look as opposed to the black. So I'm going to pull that out of here now. You can leave this set up or maybe stamp several panels while you've got everything aligned before you remove your puzzle from your Misty. We'll go ahead and tack this down then, and I'm going to use the middle of my glass board here. If we did a great job with centering everything, we should be able to pretty well place our stencils down and they're going to fall in the right place, but you also have the guides of the stamped lines to help you with the stencil placement. We're going to start with let's start with the leafies.
Leafies?
The leafies. Actually, you know what? The stencil layers go in order of the petals first, so we'll do that. All right, so that's going to give me a good starting point. I'm going to get my head right down in there. Sorry if you're seeing my hair.
Your hair's so good.
Are they seeing my hair?
No.
Okay.
I don't see it yet.
Okay.
I always bump the camera when I'm trying to get my head down.
A little bit.
I see your hair a little bit.
Okay, a little bit of hair. Okay, so that helped me just to get down there a little bit closer so that I could see better. I've got that in place there.
Sometimes it's just necessary.
Oh, and then I shifted it while I was putting down my tape. Okay, some teal tape. And we'll start off with our first color. Susan, could you grab me the inkstand over there?
Don't you love the ink stand?
I do. I don't want to chase my ink pad around anymore.
Can't live without it.
Thank you.
You don't need any more tapes. I'll take that away.
All right, we're going to start with macaron ink. So the color combination that I'm using on the flowers today is the one that is on the back of the packaging for your combo club. I'm going to start with one of the bitty blender brushes and just lightly blend the macaron over the top of this stencil. So this is going to be the lightest color. I usually start with the lighter color and then I blend in more of that darker, whatever my shading color or dimensional color is going to be. And we're going to do that today with detail blender brushes. I know if you didn't get a chance to catch Susan's live yesterday, then go back and watch that replay because she showed the detail brushes as well. Some great uses for those with our pretty poster prints stencil. Okay, so a nice light application of that color. Then we're going to pull in the kind of companion to macaron is dried fig. And this is what I'm going to use with my detail blender brush. Here we have our detail blender brushes. I can't bear to take them out of this cute box, so we just keep putting them back in the cute box when we're done with them. But yeah, they do come in that fun storage.
Someone suggested yesterday that leaving them in there, and I don't know, they thought maybe kept them from drying.
Oh.
So much. I don't know. I was like, well, that's an interesting thought. I don't know. Ours seem pretty happy in there, so maybe.
They do seem pretty happy.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy.
Everyone's happy.
We have given our blender brushes feelings now.
Used to be he, she. Now we've stepped up to feelings.
Right, now they're having feelings about how they are doing inside the box we store them in. So just using this small concentrated blender brush gives me lots of control over where I'm placing that darker shade of ink. And then we're going to move on to the second layer of the stencil. And I'm actually going to leave the dried fig ink out because that's the next color I'm going to use. So we're going to use this as my lighter shade on the next layer and then move to a darker shade. Actually, I see a little bit of area here that I want to fuss with. Okay.
Feel better about that, right?
Yes. All right, so there we have the first stencil application, and now we're gonna pop in that second layer of the stencil. I do want to point out on this layer 2 of the stencil, sometimes it's just nice to know before you use it. There is a part here that is kind of intricate. Is that what we call it?
Yep.
Yes. It's an intricate piece that's held on by a nub here. It is definitely sturdy enough. It's not going to rip on you, but when you wash your stencils, just be careful that you're not catching this jaggy part and kind of pulling that stencil portion up. If you do happen to do that, you can always use some pixie spray on that little spot there to hold it down in place while you're blending.
But that's what gives the detail.
Yes. You want that to cover up what you've already done so you get that beautiful kind of dual color blend. And you should see this one pop into place pretty easily. Use some of that teal tape, or you can even use your magnets. Actually, magnets would be a great one for this because they are not too close to the actual artwork to get in the way. So now I'm going to take the dried fig, and this time with these, my first color is going to be my lighter color. So for this color blend, the dried fig is my lighter color, and I'm going to do that with the bitty blender brush. And then we're going to come in with my darker color for this layer, which is passion fruit. We love passion fruit.
Such a good color.
Love those magnets. Oh, they're back in stock too. I forgot to say that.
I was just going to say, if you've been waiting for those magnets, we use them so much.
And they have, I did see a question on the fan page recently about whether people use the magnets on their small glass board as well, or just the large one. She wasn't sure if the magnets were too big for the small glass board, but we use them on our small glass board all the time. So the small glass board also fits a 6x6 stencil nicely, so with some extra room around it. Okay, so that layer's a little bit darker than the first one that we did. And then we're going to come in with the darker color. And I'm going to grab my detail brush for the passion fruit then. And we're going to go ahead and blend that towards the bottom of those blooms that we just blended. So we should probably talk about Mother's Day. What kind of plans do you guys have for Mother's Day?
Oh, I get to hang out with my sister.
Really?
Yes.
I heard.
Pull all of our children together.
Yes.
And have them play while we sit around and hopefully eat good snacks.
Yes.
Like cheesy crackers and dips.
Our kids are going to entertain themselves while... And our mom is coming back.
I know.
They're in the car right now driving from all the way across the country from California, so they should be here this afternoon. I just said our mom is coming back, but our dad is coming back too.
Yes!
They said they were going to be listening on the car ride to the live today. So hello, Mom and Dad, if you're listening.
Oh, and leave a comment.
We're excited to see you. Leave a comment unless you're the one driving. Then don't.
Yeah.
Susan, what are you doing for Mom's Day?
We usually just have like brunch at home.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. No, I don't know. We've got to.
Do you make it, or do the kids make it, or does Bob cook, or?
Usually Bob and the girls, but it's a group effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The eggs and bacon and all that good stuff.
Yeah. I like French toast. Homemade French toast.
That sounds yummy.
That's yummy. Gotta have the right bread. Brioche.
Oh, yes. You told me that last time, and I bought some brioche bread for French toast, and it was yummy.
It's the best.
I was a little overconfident in my eyesight, I think, because I feel good about that, but it takes me a little while longer to get that lined up. So this layer of the stencil, we're going to do green tea, and that is our new, we're kind of addicted to green tea right now, right? I am. It is our new color from the Shades of Spring release, one of the new colors. It's just a beautiful mossy green. So
Love it.
I'm going to lightly apply that with a bitty blender brush. I feel like the bitty blender brushes give me more control when I want to do a light hand, because I can lightly hold the brush if I move farther back on my grip of the handle and don't put my thumb up at the top, then I can get a really nice light-handed application. Where I feel like when I want that darker, more detailed dimension, I will grab for my detail blender brushes. So we're actually going to use both the bitty and the detail brush with the same color ink to achieve kind of that two-toned leafy color with just one shade of ink. All right, so detail brush in green, pull that out, and right at the base of the leaf, we're just going to pull that color in.
The handles on those brushes are just amazing, just awesome. I love them.
Anybody else gardening for Mother's Day? I've seen a couple people getting stuff planted. Whitney's like, that sounds great.
Someone said they're planting flowers and having filet mignons, and I was like, okay, I'm coming. So invite me.
I'm on the way.
Yeah, I'm in charge of food for Mother's Day. Sorry, Whit, I won't be making filet mignons. That wasn't part of my repertoire or plan.
I already did we discussed this yesterday on my live. I say we had a little conversation. One person said it took them 15 minutes to take care of their plants. It took me, on Wednesday, it took me like 3.5 hours.
Oh
but I
my
got everything
goodness.
planted, so. Oh, that's so
Ooh,
pretty.
look how pretty that's looking. We have one final layer left that does the other part of the leafy greenery, or the stems, and then we have the flower centers. If you feel more comfortable with these flower centers, not kind of inking them in the wrong color, you could grab a little bit of Post-it removable labeling tape and mask over the areas. I would say this one is probably the closest to the other color that you're going to be blending. So if that is one of them that you might want to mask, I'm trying to get the centers perfectly in place here, and then we'll put this down. Oh. Okay. I'm going to do Brussels sprouts ink for the rest of the stems, and I am going to take just a little piece of that to mask off that one. I think I should be okay there, but just in case, since we're live, let's not live on the edge today. Save that for another day. Okay, so we're going to take that bitty blender brush, and this is the darker Brussels sprouts, so it's going to apply darker than the green tea did. And then we're going to darken it even more with a second layer of ink using the detail blender brush.
moving the kids out of Iowa State. That's fine.
Really? They have to move out on Mother's Day weekend?
Well, they move out on Saturday, but I have a feeling it's probably going to drift into Sunday.
Yes, I can see that. Well, that'll be fun. The girls are home for the summer then.
Sort of.
I know. It comes with its challenges too.
Yeah.
You are at that kind of awkward stage of life where you live alone for a while and then they come back for a while and then you're alone for a while. Yeah.
It's reabsorbing their items that's hard.
Yeah, at what age did everyone's kids absorb their own items? I want to know that. I'm still trying to think, do I still have anything with my parents? I think my parents have moved so many times that they probably dropped all my buckets of memorabilia off and they were like, here, it's your problem now.
It's your problem.
Okay, so I have my detail blender here and I'm doing honey ink, which is, if you use honey with a heavy hand, it can be very brown. Would you say that, Susan? Honey has a more brown tone the heavier handed you get. So just kind of tapping off on the side of your stencil material and spreading that ink out before you bring it onto the openings is going to give you a nice lighter color of honey.
But it is the perfect
center.
Yeah.
So then I'm going to take that deeper, more intense honey color, and you'll see this when I get done and bring it into the camera closer, but it does get a little bit more brown then at the base of your open center there. And now we have the big reveal. I can't wait. I have not done this ahead of time in the purple color with the sea salt ink, so I think that I'm excited to see how that looks. Look at that. So pretty. Doesn't that look so great?
Awesome.
I love that. You can barely see the lines.
Yes.
And so it really looks like you almost painted these flowers right onto the cardstock. So if you wanted to use the die then, let me just grab the die so you guys can see. Those flowers are in just the right spot because we put our puzzle together correctly at the beginning. But you would just take that one die and line it up around all of the flowers. And then of course tape it down and send it through your die cut machine to get 3 individual flowers. We're not going to do that today because I wanted to show a use for these that doesn't require any of the extra supersize dies. So we are going to take this now and do something special to it that I haven't done for a while. I know we have new people watching all the time, so sometimes I think, oh, I'm recycling an old idea or an old technique that everybody's probably seen before, but I know there are new people that probably haven't seen this, so we're gonna do it today. This was one of those happy accidents that Susan and I discovered many years ago, a couple, 3 maybe. I remember being in the old building. Yeah, I remember being over there and thinking, we were doing something and we ended up sending the foil panel through and then we pulled it out and it had like sparkle in random places. And we realized that the foil had stuck to the pixie spray that was on the back of our stencils. So then we thought that wasn't what we wanted to happen, but then we thought, why not just take this pixie spray and like actually just spray it on your panel and then press the foil to it. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to do this off screen because I want to hold my panel over my garbage can, but I'm going to take pixie spray and about maybe 6 inches out from my panel, I'm going to spray across that. You do want to shake it up really well so you get a finer spray of the pixie. You don't want kind of big chunky pixie over your panel. So hold it about 6 to 8 inches apart and give it a nice spray.
You can
Right.
always add more. You can't.
You
take away.
can, yes. You can always add more. This is a great thing for the splatter box too. If you have a splatter box that you splatter in, just use it as your pixie spray box. Okay, so I have to let that kind of get a little bit tacky here for a second. So while that is getting tacky, actually, I probably don't have to wait that long. I'll just go ahead and cut my foil.
Do you think you can ever leave it set too long?
I don't think so. I mean, pixie spray is tacky to the touch for like ever.
Yeah, I don't think you can. I mean, I wouldn't leave it for days and still
Yeah.
expect it to work, but I think too quick is almost worse than too long.
Yes. Ooh, I need my long-handled scissors,
yes.
please, or my long-bladed scissors. Thank you.
I
We
used
use them.
this morning.
We use them so much they end up all around the room. Okay, so I'm going to use my long blade scissors to cut a piece of this foil, and I really don't need a full coverage of the foil because this is a great way to use up leftover foil too. And it's a no heat foiling technique. So if you don't have a mink, you can still do this. So we're just going to take that foil and I'm going to place it over the top of my pixie sprayed panel, and I'm just going to press down. And then when we pull that up, you'll be able to see, or you're at least hearing what it sounds like when you have the foil sticking to your pixie. So we're going to cover the bottom part of that panel and then peel that up. And if you want to go back, you can even go back and give some extra pressure just to make sure that you caught all those spots of pixie with the foil. And then you can rub your hand across your panel. If you don't feel tackiness, then that means the foil has stuck to all of your pixie bits. Pixie bits, that's a new term.
Oh, man.
Let me pull this up into the camera and show off that shine with the foil. Look at how pretty that is. I used champagne foil, if I didn't mention that. How pretty. Now I did do that on another card. I was going to see if I could find that purple one that I used before. Here it is. So I actually decided to try black foil. This is what it looks like in black foil and just gives a little more distinct appearance of that splattered look. But this is another way you can do splatter. I would maybe recommend, before doing this on a beautiful panel that you have completed already, take a piece of cardstock that you don't care about and just spray it with pixie spray. And that will give you an idea of how much to add so that you don't end up ruining a panel that you've spent good time on with, because if you do get it too heavy, I don't think you will like it. So there's that. Now let's go ahead with our A2 postage stamp stacklets. I'm going to arrange that over the top here, just centering that bouquet top to bottom and left to right. And we'll grab a piece of Scotch removable tape to tack down that frame, and I'll run it through my die cut machine. I can do that off camera, or actually I'll bring it in camera here because we have to cut our little tags too.
Those postage stamp stacklets get used quite a bit here.
They sure do.
They're like one of our favorite things.
They're kind of perfect. I like them.
Perfect, I must say.
They're perfect for a lot of things, I guess. They just go with a lot of things. Whether you're going cutesy or you're doing something more elegant like these flowers, I think a nice deckled edge outline like this is really pretty. Okay, so there's what that looks like. You've got the nice stitching detail added around the edge, and we are ready to add a sentiment. I'm going to cut my tags out with white cardstock. Got that right here, and I like to leave them all together. They're not very big, so I just cut all of them, and then I have a little piece that I put on the back of my stamp set where I store the extras. Where did I put my...
Did you lose it? What is it?
My top panel here. Why do I set it back there? Okay.
You don't forget it.
Yes, so I don't lose
You don't
it.
lose it.
And then I lose it. So yeah, I just keep all of these extras that I don't use so that I have them ready when I am crafting again. Another thing that your future self will thank you for. So little tips. And then also you're not losing dies because, you know, these dies, the tags are kind of tiny, but when you keep them all together, you're less likely to lose one. Now, when I created this card, I so badly wanted a macaron colored tag, which we do not have macaron cardstock anymore. So instead, I created my own macaron colored tag using white cardstock and the coordinating ink. So simply take your bitty blender brush and your whatever ink color you want your tag to be. I think this also really looks nice with this painted look of these flowers because you've almost used the same, or you have used the same application to do the tag as you did to do the flower. So we're just gonna take the bitty blender brush and rub that across the tag. And it is gonna look more intense when it is first applied. So I'm gonna show you guys what to expect when you do this, because I think when you first do it, you're like, oh, that looks not good. But the beauty of our ink is that as it dries back, it just kind of melds together and blends into this beautiful, consistent looking color. So it also gets a little lighter as it dries as well. So let me show you. Here is the one that I just did. And then here is the one that has dried for, I don't know, it's been sitting here probably 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes or so. An hour. Okay, it's been sitting here an hour. I'm like, wait, I've been live for an hour now. So yes, this is, you don't have to let it dry. It'll look this way, you know, after 10, 15 minutes, but you can see this one looks almost, what do you call that when it's mottled or kind of, what word am I looking for? Blotchy. Blotchy. It looks a little bit blotchy, and then over here it is just perfectly dried into this beautiful, consistent color.
Sorry for the non-help.
Sorry, I'm like, read my mind right now. What do I want to be saying? Sometimes that word doesn't want to come out for me, blotchy or splotchy. Okay, so I've got then my macaron tag, and I'm going to stamp that with VersaFine Clair ink. My other card said get well soon. I think I have just a note also. Let's do just for you. And I am pretty comfortable just stamping this with an acrylic block, but of course, if you want to set it up and stamp it in your MISTI, you certainly can.
Living on the edge.
I know, this is where I do. I live on the edge. And I figure it's just a little tag if I need to make another one.
It's just paper.
You say that a lot here. Okay, feel pretty good about that. There's what that looks like just for you. And we'll tie that on then with some burlap twine. Kind of hang out right down here in the bottom corner. Do we have this on the website, the burlap twine? I feel like it's just so perfect with this release, and it's something we have carried in the past.
Yes, we do.
We do, okay. So you can get these big rolls on the Tailored Expressions website. It is 400 yards.
Lifetime supply, but I can tell you it's not.
It's actually not. Yeah, Susan's on her third lifetime supply.
It's actually not.
But yeah, you go through it faster than you think. Kind of like the giant foam strips that we have. You think it looks like a roll that you'll never go through, and then, you know, a little not too long later and you're buying more. Okay, so I kind of found one of the little notches here. I'm going to put that twine into one of the notches, and then if you kind of travel it across, you can see the notch that matches up on the opposite side. I'm actually going to take and go one notch below that, and then I'm going to kind of go back and forth. Now this time I'm going to go the notch above it and then the notch below it. So I've kind of created like an X with my burlap twine. And then I have this little piece that's hanging off the side here. And that was intentional, so we'll come back in here then and cut our twine. It's been a little while since I've tied a bow on a live. But we're gonna...
Someone specifically asked that you show this.
Okay.
So they're excited to see.
So I usually start, when I'm tying a tag onto it, I usually start with with a knot. So I'm gonna just tie this in a knot so that it's sturdy and stays in place. So there's my knot, and I try to make that knot right where I want my tag to set. And then we'll take the tag and we'll put that on one of the like extra little strings, just like this. And now we can tie our bow. So I probably didn't leave myself a whole lot of room here. I probably should have cut those little strings a little bit longer, but I'm gonna get a little bit closer in here so you can see. I call this a bunny ears bow. So I'm gonna make one bunny ear, and then I'm gonna wrap, actually this is not a bunny ear bow. It's just a normal tying your shoe bow. Sometimes I do the bunny ears bows, and sometimes I do the tying the shoe. It kind of depends on how much extra string you have. So I'm just gonna do the one loop like you would do with your shoelace, and then I'm gonna take the other string around it and pass it through. And then we'll pull those two loops tight. And I don't have a lot of excess to work with here, so I'm kind of finagling it. So I've pulled those two loops tight. I don't like the way my tag is hanging, and my loops are too big. So what I'm going to do is just pull those loops, or pull the string on the side to shorten my loops and make them a little bit cuter. And then we're gonna trim off maybe just a little bit of that excess on the sides here so they're not so long. And then we're going to place our tag so that it's just perfect. So this is where you get to decide. Do you like your tag hanging like this? Do you want it to come over like this? You kind of just put it where you want it to go.
And if it doesn't, you put glue behind it.
Yes,
To make it.
that's what I was gonna do, is
Okay.
just put a little bit of foam tape then. I'll cut a little bit off of this foam tape roll, and we're gonna put that down on the back of the tag. Just like this. And then I'm gonna peel the backing paper off, and we can decide then where do we like our bow to, or our tag to sit. Kind of like it just like that. You know, you could come over here with it. I like the way that this is sitting and the bow looks pretty, and so we'll just kind of pop that down there. Then that's gonna stay in just the right spot where you want it, and you don't have to worry about it looking wonky when your recipient gets it, and it's all pretty. All right, then.
It's not cheating.
No, it's just making it look pretty. Then I'm gonna take my foam strips and we'll go ahead and place those down here. I like to overlap my twine just to make sure, give it that extra bit of sturdiness to stay where I want it to. And then I have a toffee card base. And we'll just place this down. To get out a little bit farther again. Center it on there. Ta-da! We did it!
Woohoo!
I love it.
Beautiful.
I really am loving the look of that no line inking. I think that is so fun. And here it is in comparison to the black. So you can see just, it gets a little softer, like Susan said, a little bit more feathery. And I think both are equally pretty, but I think that's a fun and unique thing you could try with this stamp that you might not have thought of. I didn't think of it. I've done it before. I don't know, didn't cross my mind.
I don't color, so I've never gotten to use the whole no line coloring,
So this was your opportunity, huh?
my opportunity.
All right, you guys. Well, that's it for today. Let me say farewell to you guys before I send you off into a proper weekend ahead. All right. Thanks for joining in today. And if you missed the beginning, then go ahead and go back and watch the replay so that you can see all the details about the upcoming Combo Club sign-up. So that is starting on May 30th. If you need to either resubscribe for the following 3 months, or if you didn't subscribe at the beginning, you can get your membership starting May 30th for July, August, and September Combo Club. You don't want to miss it. We're having lots of fun. So, yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend ahead. Get outside, enjoy the beautiful weather. Those of you that are celebrating with your mom or with your kids, I hope you have a wonderful Mother's Day, and I will see you on